how's it going? My name is Ruby Price and welcome to a week ago. Taking a bit of a while to get going today just because I didn't really want to pressure myself into, getting up and being like, right, cool, get to work straight away. I'm about to have a shower. So hopefully after that, things get going. Yeah. Also, the new episode of A Week Ago is live. If you haven't seen that already, do go watch it. Go to Derby, go on a bit of an adventure. Use some royalty-free music to make things seem more epic than they are. Manufactured epicness. There's an interesting suspenseful scene involving some porcelain dolls. And if that doesn't tweak your interest, I don't know what will. I've found a naked Skittle. My camera doesn't even want to focus on it, it's that naked.
Are you sharing that Skittles nudes without consent?
Skittle, please can I share your nudes?
Yeah.
Yes. Jambalaya. Jambalaya. So yeah, last week when I announced that monetization was back, I promised I wouldn't just spam videos with mid-rolls. Something happened with the wiki that came out live today, where Google basically just processed and put them automatically. I didn't realise I clicked it. So there was 4 mid-rolls in a 13-minute video. That's fucking ridiculous. So I removed them and I just put 1 in. Yeah, 4 mid-rolls in a 13-minute video is just fucking ridiculous. So yeah, if you were one of those people, sorry about that. The hilarious thing is, last time I was monetized, mid-rolls just weren't really a thing. Yeah, I only ever had like pre-videos and the ones that come up like there. So there I am, lying in bed, and I get a Twitter notification from Raiders liking my tweet that my Songs for a Ruby Tuesday playlist has been updated to include one of their songs. But it hadn't, because I forgot to do it last night. So that was like, right, cool, fucking get up and change it, because fucking hell. Yeah, so the Songs for Ruby Tuesday playlist on Spotify has been updated to include 15 songs that I've been enjoying the last month. Do go check it out, there's a link in the description. Right, there's currently an article going around that's, saying Eddie Redmayne condemns vitriol towards J.K. Rowling, which is true. And valid, I guess. Like, I've seen a lot of the things that were directed at J.K. Rowling. Like, I said things about J.K. Rowling, but like, I said she was transphobic. But a lot of the things I've seen, the kind of things that you don't want to be, saying to people. No matter what they say, no matter what they do. I've seen death threats, I've seen rape threats, I've seen everything. I've also had a lot of these things as well, being an openly trans woman on the internet. So, yeah, 1, I fully understand Eddie condemning that. 2, a lot of the people that are sharing this article and are part of the online outrage towards Eddie Redmayne seem to forget that he has openly and publicly condemned what J.K. Rowling has said. He's not defending what J.K. Rowling has said, he's defending, well, he's not even defending, he's condemning people that are saying things towards J.K. Rowling. So, literally June, July, I can't remember when it was, he said that he doesn't agree at all with the things that J.K. Rowling has said. Trans people are valid, trans women are women, trans men are men, and non-binary people are valid. I don't understand what more people could want, really, because if anything, I would find it more concerning if he was... I'd find it more concerning if there was an article saying that Eddie Redmayne approves of the vitriol that's being said to J.K. Rowling. I'd be, obviously we need to distinguish that calling someone a bigot, a transphobe, a TERF, things like that that's not vitriol, that's not abuse, that's not hate. And that's clearly not what, Eddie Redmayne is condemning, because why would you? you know? He's condemning the death threats, the rape threats, the abuse and stuff like that. I'm seeing a lot of people using, you know, him being in The Danish Girl as an excuse to, you know, hate on Eddie Redmayne again. And, you know, I'll hold my hands up and say I liked The Danish Girl. It's one of my favourite movies. But I'm fully aware of the problems with casting a cis man in a trans role. I've made videos on casting cis people in trans roles. But that's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is that Eddie has since apologised for that. He's accepted that, you know, that role should have gone to, if not a trans person, someone who's female. And also, you know, he has tried to make amends. He's led workshops for young trans people, you know. He's been a very good ally. And all of a sudden, the online trans community is throwing him under the bus because he didn't defend a transphobe. He criticised people sending abusive messages to a transphobe. There is a distinction, and I think that's a problem that, you know, online culture doesn't quite get. All it takes is one newspaper article to misrepresent or misquote someone, and they go from a saint to the devil. I don't really know what to say. Yeah, J.K. Rowling's still a transphobe. J.K. Rowling has pretty much always been transphobic. She keeps doubling down on said transphobia. But the solution to that isn't, you know, shouting at her. The solution is trying to educate her, and whilst I don't think that's something that's going to happen because, you know, J.K. Rowling seems to be stuck in this hole that she's, you know, dug herself deeper into. The solution can never be to just shout at someone. That's not how you change people's minds. And I know that that is something of a controversial opinion these days, but, you know, yeah, I don't know what to say. Like, there is a reason I wear this t-shirt. You know, I am a trans activist. I believe that trans people are valid. You know, from pre-transition to whatever. You know, I don't know what to say. Because it just baffles me that we're so keen to lose strong allies and good allies and allies in positions of power that will turn our backs on them at the slightest chance, you know, at the easiest opportunity. People read a headline and all of a sudden it's a scandal, but they don't read the article. You know, in half the articles that I've seen on this topic, it literally starts off with, you know, Eddie Redmayne, you know, has stood up for his trans friends and the trans community and what he's done. But the people are sharing it saying, Eddie Redmayne's a transphobe. Eddie Redmayne supports transphobia. It's like, fuck off. Read something. Read something before you share it. That's... Rant over, because I'm just losing it. Been in this office the last 5 hours. I've written 56 words, 320 characters, and if you don't include spaces, that's 265 characters. I've also downloaded and installed a Google Chrome extension that turns off Facebook, Reddit and Twitter. I've turned on the screen time setting on my phone that limits me to Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, Instagram, all those time wasters for an hour a day, making efforts to stop my distractions because I just can't stop. I just can't stop myself. Like I said it last week, if I'm in a position where I need to be working, the last thing I want to be doing is working. And it's so fucking annoying. Like, I'm aware how much this is impacting my productivity, but I can't do anything about it. If COVID wasn't a thing, I would be in uni writing my dissertation. It's what I did in my undergrad. Granted, my undergrad also had, you know, me going to work as well whilst my case study was due, so I couldn't just stay at uni. But that's not an excuse this time because I don't have a job. But yeah, it's annoying. I can't do anything about it. I hate how far behind I've fallen. it really pisses me off. Well, I sat here for the entire length of the audiobook version of Fuck Yeah Video Games with some food eating in between. It's taken me to midnight, but done some work. I do genuinely think that not having access to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit and all that helped me out a lot. Because, well, one, it removed the temptation to go because, you know, like, sure, you can just press ignore on the limiter things, but also, you know, it removes the temptation because you know that you're doing something wrong if you're pressing that ignore button, you know, like, you've given yourself these restrictions. But, you know, anyway, I got some work done. I'm gonna go upstairs now because it's late. And I've actually made progress. Me last night. I don't want to sleep in. Me today. Wakes up at 12. Got some new curtains for the office. They're blackout curtains. So I don't have to worry about the sun anymore. Yay! Finished the analysis of the transcript of the pilot video. Well, the pilot thing. So now I need to go through the comments, but I'm going to wait till after dinner now because dinner's soon and probably take a break. How on earth is it October already? I swear yesterday was March. Whilst also at the same time, how is it only October? I swear yesterday was March. Cool, so last night I watched Ex Machina for the first time. My friend Chaz has been like mentioning it in so many conversations since like I first met him. Particularly after watching The Danish Girl for the first time in 2016, which stars Alicia Vikander as well as Eddie Redmayne. And obviously Alicia Vikander is in Ex Machina, and I was like, alright. But it just took me this long to get around to it because I just never got around to it. And oh my god, that's a fucking brilliant movie. Just, yeah. I had to wait to process what I had just watched when it finished. But honestly, if you haven't seen Ex Machina and sci-fi, AI, any of those kind of things are your kind of thing, Ex Machina is for you. There's a couple of scenes that are a bit tense, but I won't spoil them or anything like that. But you know, watch it, turn your phones off, turn away all the distractions, you know, make it a good atmosphere to be watching a film in, and watch Ex Machina. It's on Netflix, if you have Netflix. It's probably on other services, but you might have to pay for them as well. But yeah, Ex Machina needs to be on your list of movies to watch if you haven't watched it already. If you have seen it, what do you think about it? Leave a comment. There's a new McFly song out today called Tonight Is the Night. It's better than Growing Up. It might be better than Happiness, I think. I still need to actually listen to it a bit more. But it's still just not quite the level that I expect from McFly, and I don't know if that's just me being, you know, moving on, not moving on, but having matured. There's a certain standard that I at least expect from McFly, and you know, these last 3 songs just haven't really hit it yet. What I'm really hoping is that, you know, these are just the singles, like, you know, the ones that the label think, hey, push these songs out, they sound good, people will like these, and that the album will have some absolute bangers on, you know, because some of my favourite McFly songs weren't even singles. But yeah, that's all I'm really hoping for at the minute. Otherwise, this album, from what I've heard currently, will basically rank just above The Noise in terms of like my favourite McFly albums. And Above the Noise is my least favourite McFly album, so hopefully there's something else. Maybe I should do a review when the album comes out. Beth made cookies. Housemate of the Year award goes to... I mean, who are we kidding? It goes to me. I'm the best. I'm by far the best, but she's close. Sorry, Beth, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Right, so my plan for today is to finish writing the section about the pilot. Because I finished analysing the pilot yesterday. So if I write the pilot today, I've got that bit out of the way and I'll be nearly done. I say nearly done. I'll have made significant progress in my dissertation, and that's the kind of milestone that I need to give me that extra boost to get going. So that's my plan. I have started later than usual today because I slept in. Just hit 1,000 words written today, but now I'm cooking because I'm in charge of food for the house tonight, which means I'm making pasta arrabbiata, which isn't pasta arrabbiata but with my name in it because it doesn't involve arrabbiata ingredients. It was just a pun that I was going to make. So yeah, this is basically just the pasta that I made a couple of weeks ago and a week ago, but for 4 people rather than just me. Yeah. Well, it's 5 to 12, my brain's basically stopped working, but I've got a significant amount of work done today. The downside being that it came all in the afternoon / early evening, so like, you know, if I'd actually got my act together, I could have done so much more. Honestly, I'm going to be so grateful when it's next weekend, and this is all out the way and in the past. At least I hope so. Anyway, I'm off to bed. Fucking knackered. You know what I've had a big craving for over the last couple of days? Pretzels. Just bready, doughy goodness wrapped up in a weird ribbony shape. Yeah, but it's the weekend. I'm dedicating almost all of it to uni work because I can't dedicate anything else to anything. The only other thing that I'm dedicating it to is editing a week ago and Grid Talk tomorrow, where I'm previewing the Nürburgring Grand Prix, which happened next weekend, which is fortunately after my dissertation's due in, so I don't have to worry about sitting for, you know, a total of about 5 hours watching cars go around a circuit when I need to be writing. So yeah, so I should probably get on with it because it's the afternoon now. I slept in. It was the afternoon when I woke up. I was tired. It was a Friday night. Leave me alone. It's such a ridiculous sound, but it's so fucking annoying. So, it's an early-ish start for Grid Talk today. Normally, like, it tends to be in the afternoon or whatever, or the evening, but this one was more suited for me to be around midday, just because it means that I can get this out of the way and back straight on with uni work and stuff, because obviously the dissertation due, the sooner that I can focus on that in a day, the better, because like once I start working, like I can work for ages, but you know, the later in the day, I'm not really going to be focused on that. I'm going to be thinking, alright, so it's this long until, like, grid talk or whatever. So, yeah, if you're ever planning to do something with me around a deadline, do it in the morning, please. But I've got a 2 light setup today. Like, not just one on that side. I've got 2 lights. Because I got a new desk lamp with some birthday money, and well, that's my filming lamp. That's my filming light, the big one. I was like, well, sure, why not? If it means that, like, I'm lit up properly, then I'm lit up properly, and I can't complain about that. So, yeah, F1 grid talk. Very, very soon. So the one thing that I'm certain of once I've actually, finished writing the section that I'm currently writing is that I need a completely different approach for the week that's coming up, because, well, it took me about 3 days to go through what was essentially a pilot study. And that was, once I'd finally actually managed to get going. Basically it took 3 days in total of, like, work. I needed a completely different strategy, because otherwise that's 9 days worth of video analysis. I don't have 9 days, I have 5. So, yeah, and a completely different focus. Something different's going to happen with the week ago this week. I guess you'll find out if it works or not, depending on whether another week ago video comes out next week. And if it doesn't, then it means that the idea didn't quite work. But I have basically nearly finished what I wanted to finish, like, yesterday, if not the day before. Just things got in the way, or certain things just, required more time than I was expecting. Yeah, so in order for me to, focus on what I'm writing now, I'm gonna call this a week, even though it's a bit early in the day. But basically I'm just gonna be sat at this computer typing all evening when I'm not editing. So, if I call this a week here, then I can get back to it. So, yeah, as I just said, I'm going to call that a week. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, do all that generic YouTube stuff, like, share, comment, subscribe, etc, etc. As always, I've been Ruby Price, and I shall hopefully see you a week ago. Adios. Bye.